Hey guys, I'm back. Welcome back to Obsessed with Videos. Sorry if I haven't done Sorry if I haven't done an update or even any kind of video in a while. Considering the last one I did the last one I did back in January was an opening, which was the the UK 4K Blu-ray opening to Space Jam, the original 1996 film, which was released on 4K last year in 2021. But now I'm finally back to making videos. But one of the reasons that I haven't been able to that I haven't uploaded any videos in a long time is mainly because I've been busy with other things like college work, for example, alongside some other things which I am not going to mention in this video, since I don't really need to mention them. They're all personal things. Anyway, in this update, I'll be showing you the cinema tickets that I've got over the past nearly 6 months, although within the first month of the year, I didn't go to the cinema at all, mostly due to COVID reasons and stuff, and possibly some other reasons as well, which I won't mention in this video because they are also personal stories and stuff. But in this update, I'm going to be showing you the first 5 cinema tickets I've got this year, and there will probably be some more throughout the rest of this year because I do have plans for other cinema trips this year, which you'll have to find out what they are. You'll have to find out what tickets I get over the course of this year. Without further ado, let's get started. The first one is the subtitled IMAX screening of Belle, which is an anime film that is inspired by films such as Ready Player One and Beauty and the Beast. And considering last year, the first film I saw at the cinema last year was an anime film, which in that case was Demon Slayer Mugen Train. And I saw that film in May last year, and that was the first film I saw in 2021 at the cinema, considering cinemas were closed for like many months at the start of 2021, and they had only opened in May of that. They'd only reopened in May of that year. But I managed to see this film and get this cinema ticket on the one for Belle on February 1st, 2022 at 7:10 p.m. I saw it in Cineworld in Leeds in IMAX. The film was rated 12A, even though it doesn't say it on the Cineworld Leeds tickets for some reason. The film was distributed by All the Anime, even though their logo didn't appear at the start of the film for some reason. Like, in the past, I've seen cinema openings on YouTube of films that were distributed by All the Anime, and their logo did appear on some of them. Like, I saw a cinema opening to Weathering with You, which was another All the Anime film, which was released back in, I think, 2020, and that had the All the Anime logo on it. But for some reason this film does not. But in terms of what I saw at the start of the film, there was the BBFC, from what I remember since it was months ago, I saw the BBFC card, the IMAX logo, just like on all of the IMAX screenings at Cineworld and possibly many other cinemas as well, the logo for G Kids, which is the North American distributor, the American distributor for the film, and Toho, which was the Japanese studio for the film, Japanese distributor for the film, and the animation studio that was behind it. I can't really remember what the name was of the animation studio that made Belle, but it might come back to me someday, or I might find it on the web on like IMDb or somewhere. Anyway, I was in screen 11, which is the IMAX screen at the Cineworld in Leeds, and I was in row K and seat 30. The next cinema ticket I've got is Jackass Forever. Now, When I saw this film at the cinema, I found it to be the funniest film I've seen at the cinema, at least in a long time. But considering I did laugh out loud during this film and all the crazy and funny stunts that happen in this, I don't think I've ever laughed out loud at a film before, so I think this might be one of, if not the funniest film I've ever seen at the cinema. Not only that, but it's also the first 18 rated film I've seen at the cinema. And I saw this film at Cineworld in Castleford on February 16th, 2022 at 2:10 p.m. And I was in screen 13 and I was in row H and seat 17. Considering how funny I found this film to be, I consider it to be one of my favourite films of the year so far. The next one is another Cineworld ticket, another IMAX one. But this time it's not for an anime film, but rather a superhero film, which in this case is a DC film, which in this case is The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson as, well, the Batman. The film was rated 15, even though, once again, it doesn't say it on the ticket. I saw it on release day on March 4th, 2022 at 3:10 p.m. And once again, I was in screen 11 or the IMAX screen at Cineworld in Leeds, and I was in row H and seat 30. The next one, though, is for another anime film, but this time it's not an IMAX screening, and it's for Jujutsu Kaisen 0, the movie, which was released by Sony Pictures under the Crunchyroll label. However, now Sony Pictures also used to distribute the Funimation films until they were absorbed, until Funimation recently changed their name to Crunchyroll. However, when it came to the opening logos to the Funimation films, when they were released in cinemas, because as you remember from my previous updates, I went to see some of Funimation's films at the cinema, like the previously mentioned Demon Slayer Mugen Train, or My Hero Academia World Heroes Mission. They all had the Sony logo preceding the Funimation logo. Similarly to how Sony does with some of their other films, like the live-action films from Columbia Pictures, TriStar Pictures, Screen Gems, and so on. And even what they've done at times with the Sony Pictures animation films. However, in the case of Jujutsu Kaisen 0, the movie, the opening logos in terms of the UK distributors start with the Crunchyroll logo and then the Sony logo with the new transition that they started using on Venom Let There Be Carnage, which proceeds into the Sony Pictures Releasing International logo, which for me was a bit of a surprise, and a pleasant surprise too, which I wasn't expecting. Anyway, Jujutsu Kaisen 0 is rated 15. I saw it at Cineworld in Castleford on the 23rd of March 2022, which is literally two years on the day after the first lockdown, after we first went into lockdown, when Boris Johnson first announced, the UK Prime Minister first announced that strict lockdown in March 2020. And then who would have known 2 years later that I would, who would have known, and there I would be 2 years on the day later seeing another film at the cinema. So, which I wasn't able to do the year on that date the year prior, even considering in March 2021 we were also still in lockdown and things hadn't fully opened up yet. As I mentioned, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I saw the film at 3:30 p.m, as I said, on the 23rd of March 2022, and I was in screen 6, row K and seat 21. Final cinema ticket for today, and the most recent film I've seen at the cinema is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Originally, I wanted to see the first Sonic the Hedgehog film at the cinema back in 2020, but due to other things that were happening at the time and, of course, COVID, I didn't manage to see it at the cinema. However, I watched the film on Blu-ray when we got it, and I really enjoyed it. So I was hoping to see the second one if I was able to, and turns out, and I was. And I really enjoyed seeing it at the cinema. However, I saw it on the 6th of April 2022 at Cineworld in Castleford. This is the only film I saw in April this year because I was so anxious and so stressed with college work and all that kind of stuff that I just didn't have time for much. Like, I was in a deep period of anxiety back then. I'm not going to go into full detail about what happened during that time, but it's a personal story. I would rather not let all of it out. But as I said, I saw it in Cineworld in Castleford on April 6, 2022 at 2:20 p.m. and I was in Screen 7, which is the largest screen in Cineworld in Castleford, and I was in row K and seat 26. Fun fact, I think Screen 7 used to be the IMAX screen in Cineworld in Castleford before it received a full makeover in like 2017 or 2018, and as a result the IMAX screen was kind of ditched from Cineworld in Castleford. But luckily I still have the one in Leeds to go to whenever I want to see a film in IMAX. Anyway, that should do it for today's update, and I'm not sure when the next update will be yet, but stay tuned for more videos coming soon.